Hi, good afternoon, Ginger. I'm glad to see that you made it back, safe and sound. I know it's pretty bad weather outside today.
Yeah, it sucks.
So just to start off, let me remind you what we did as homework last week, right? So I sent you home with some homework about like letting yourself feel the emotions of the divorce you've been going through, and the sadness of your son not being around as much anymore. What do you think about that? Do you think that you were able to do that this week, or?
Yeah, I actually took your suggestion and set aside some time to do that, and I do think it was helpful. I mean, I know that I've been telling you I'm sad, but I feel like I was just really focused on, I was so focused on just still being all put together that I didn't really allow myself to feel the emotions. I mean, I feel sad a lot, but I didn't really allow myself to accept that it was okay to be sad. So taking time out and just being able to not do anything and just be sad and cry and I don't know. It felt liberating in a way afterwards to just get some of that out. I mean, it still sucks that I am sad, but it did feel good to have that time.
Sure. So I'm really happy to hear that. I think that was a good thing for you to do, because it's true, you're sad. These things in your life are not what you would hope for, but I think that it's important to let yourself acknowledge that and to grieve that. This week, have you felt anything change this week, or are we still how are you feeling in the classroom?
I don't think things have changed too much. I mean, I think allowing myself to be really sad was good, but I still feel the sense of, I'm not sure exactly what it was. I just feel a sense of still not being totally fulfilled with how I'm going about my life right now. Just the sadness. Always being there, I feel just makes my work not as good as I want it to be.
Okay.
And so that's still been difficult for me, even though we've been meeting and it's been good it's really been so good to talk, I just still feel sad.
Right. So I hear you say always in your work. There's it's interesting, the word always. So do you feel like there is never a time that you feel any sort of joy or happiness, even anger, anything really?
I mean, there is whenever if one of my students particularly likes an activity I've planned, or they really get something, or maybe I taught them something like for example last week I taught them about division, and then this week one of them was really nailing it, and that made me really happy because it meant that my work was productive and was for something.
Okay.
And so that did bring me momentary happiness, and so definitely I guess I always was exaggerating, but I do think the majority of the time I just don't feel my work is as good as it used to be.
All right. So as good as it used to be, what are you comparatively speaking to now? What is good work for you?
I don't know. I feel when I used to do good activities, I felt fulfilled. I felt okay, these activities are going to be awesome. I was excited about them, and also I felt the kids love them. And
how did they respond? By what do you mean by love?
They were excited to do that, or they would request to do it again, the next week, or I guess just responding by being engaged, because it's so hard to get kids engaged in things. No one wants to do schoolwork really, so them being totally engaged and actually wanting to learn from the activity, and I felt that was kind of why I love teaching so much. And for some reason I just don't. I don't know. I don't think it's them. I think it's more me. Maybe I just don't see that they're excited because I'm not seeing the positives, or I don't know. I just feel my work hasn't been as great. Maybe they're not liking it as much. Maybe I'm not good enough for them.
Okay, so I'm hearing right now that you don't feel good enough for them, but so you don't feel good enough in your work. You don't feel good enough that to be able to teach them, to elicit that excitement.
Yeah, I just feel because it kind of like, I don't know why it is. I just feel like they deserve better than me.
Okay. All right. So an event that I'm hearing is that when you're not teaching a lesson and the lesson's not exciting enough. For instance, division was a huge hit. You loved that a kid was into it and that was great. Next week you learn multiplication, which is similar but not the same, and the children just like aren't understanding it, or just like there isn't that same enthusiasm in those moments. What are some automatic thoughts that you're feeling?
Just like that I'm not good enough, that maybe I'm not meant to be a teacher anymore, that maybe like they deserve a better teacher
Okay.
than me, like they deserve someone. I mean, I think everyone deserves someone who gets their passion going about a subject and who gets them really interested and excited, and I feel like I used to be able to do that, and like that's why I wanted to do teaching, because I loved having that in school with my teachers.
Right.
And I hated my teachers who didn't do that, and for some reason I just feel like that's becoming me. Maybe